today without signing up? Show of hands. All right, all you great, lovely folks.
Yeah.
Stop by the website. Put your name down. Tell us that how much you love us. And you can also find on the HKSocial meetup site, which is meetup.com/HKSocial. There's a new pages section, which has got a list of all of our presentations over the past months, including today's presentation. Links will be provided, of course, at the end. But if you are looking to find any links to any of the things that we've been talking about, they'll be there. Okay, so on with the show. HKSocial, February 2012. I'll do a little roundup of what we've been up to over the last month. Oh, by the way, as Matthew pointed out earlier, we are live streaming on the web today. Hello to all of you out there on the interwebs. If in the future you can't make breakfast here, and I know many of you have things called jobs, I'm so sorry for you. This way you can go to the office, you can put your headphones on, and the boss won't know that you're actually at HKSocial. So, welcome to those of you who are at work right now. Don't let your boss see what you're doing. Okay, so on with the news. Facebook, timelines are being rolling out for everybody. If you haven't yet seen your profile turn into a timeline, it will in the next few days for sure. It's not going to be an option anymore, it's going to be mandatory. And along with that comes the great new timeline apps, which means a whole bunch of new verbs are coming. It's not just going to be, Jay likes something, it's going to be Jay's reading this, Jay's cooking this, it's going to be a lot of new things. So, it's sort of what, there's a new launch page there, and they've got a list of 60 various apps. Funny enough, I use, of all of them, I only use Pinterest, I think, so. On The Guardian, which is a bit of an odd thing. I noticed I'd just gone to the Guardian website and read an article there, and it automatically somehow knew I'd been on the site and told everybody on Facebook that I'd read an article. So you've got to be careful which things you're reading now, because they're just going to show up. So yeah, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not too ashamed of reading The Guardian, but if something like the Daily Mail was to implement this, I'd be in big trouble. A side note, the Daily Mail is now the most read online news publication in the world, beat out the New York Times. So it's no accounting for taste. It is. Also, this month we've got the arrival of Facebook paid ads. So these are going to start showing up in your newsfeed, as fun as that might sound. This one here is for Ben & Jerry's, which couldn't be, it's not such a bad ad, really, I suppose. And if you hover over the little featured button, it tells you why it's showing up in your newsfeed, and you pay to put it there. And this is what the executives at Facebook say, that unless you're staring at your newsfeed all day, chances are you're only going to see one of them. Now, since this is HKSocial, and I know you guys do stare at your Facebook feed all day, you're probably going to see dozens and dozens of these things. Have fun. Another exciting piece of news for Facebook, we have Angry Birds coming to Facebook as an app on Valentine's Day this year. Again, this is probably going to start showing up in everybody's news stream and being shared all over the place. If you thought Farmville was annoying, this is going to be crazy. Interestingly enough, they are launching it in Jakarta on the 14th. And why Jakarta? The Peter Westerbacke, who's otherwise known as the Mighty Eagle of Rovio, has said that Jakarta is the Facebook capital of the world. So there you go. The guys in Angry Birds know these things. So they were supposed to talk during Social Media Week at Napoleon's Web Wednesday, but because of the launch, and they figured they need 2 days to talk to all the bloggers in Jakarta, they won't be able to come to Hong Kong. He says he's got Hello Kitty instead. I'm not sure that's enough of a compromise. So, moving on. What else happened last month? Oh, this little store called D&G. You may have heard of them. They said a few things in the news. For those of you not up on the story or new to Hong Kong, it's not unusual for retail outlets to shoo you away if you're trying to take a picture of their stores. And this isn't actually a new thing. 15 years ago, I was writing stories about retail operations, trying to take pictures of even quite local down-market shops like Bassini, and they would chase me away. So the fact that D&G was chasing away people trying to take pictures isn't a big surprise. The big mistake was saying that it was okay for tourists from the mainland to take pictures, but you couldn't take pictures if you were a local. And in today's Hong Kong, you can't say things like that. So it caused a bit of a furor, and for once, Hong Kong people actually got all excited about something. They set up a Facebook page, and 24,000 people liked hating D&G, I guess. See, this is why we need more verbs. And a whole bunch of 1,000 of them actually showed up one day, of course on the weekend, because they too have jobs that they can't go away from and protest. Isn't it though? I mean, why can't we turn up to protest something that actually matters? Exactly. But it does show that we have the capability to mobilize and get people on the street if we do get upset enough about something. If only now we can convince people to get upset about the right things. So I agree. But there you have it, social media revolution in Hong Kong. Shows you what we care about. But not the only PR snafu this month. Anybody hear about the McDonald's one? Show of hands. Yay. Not loving it. So McDonald's put a promoted tweet in with hashtag McDStories. And as social media campaign concepts go, it's not a bad one. It's got a quite a touching little story that goes with it. I'll show you a little quick clip of the video here. Give you the sound.
By experience, by looking, by seeing, by feeling.
Hả? No.冇阻住你。哦，明白。而家OK？
My parents, when they came to the U.S., they were farm workers. We went around the country following the crops. Growing up in the back of a truck was one of the hardest things. There was no room to lay down and sleep. And then, you know, after you've been on the road for 3 days, you can just imagine. Makes you appreciate what we have now. So I became a foreman at 17 for the simple fact that I could speak both languages. There was always a dream of mine to have my own farm. My friends kind of made fun of me because they thought I was aiming too high. My father told me, "Paco, behind here, you will find success."
All right, so you get the idea. Hard-working farmer, you know, real heartwarming, touching stories. And you can sort of see what McDonald's is trying to do here, is get the warm fuzzies sort of flowing. But where they really messed up is to realize that that's not the conversation that's happening online about their brand. You can't force people into talking about the stuff that they don't want to talk about. There's not as many people willing to share warm, fuzzy McDonald's stories. Honestly, it's hard to admit warm, fuzzy McDonald's stories. It's much easier to pick on how bad the McDonald's food is. And whether it deserves it or not is another thing. But, so this is what happened. And I printed some of the ones here that are more suitable for mixed company. There were some really appalling ones. You know, ordered a McDouble, something in the damn thing chipped my molar. Yeah, there's some really, you know, terrifying ones here. I lost 50 pounds in 6 months after I quit working and eating at McDonald's. Yeah, all sorts of scary stuff. Now, to the credit, McDonald's was watching the responses to their campaign, and really within a matter of hours, they decided to shut it down. They realized that it wasn't going the way they wanted to. And, you know, they've got some stats backing up that it wasn't all so bad, that, you know, statistically, you know, there was some positiveness out of it. There's a few tips, I think, that we can all learn from a situation like this. You know, before your crisis, before you get into a situation like this, have a crisis plan in place. Know what your response is going to be if your campaign doesn't go the direction you want it to go. Make sure you are monitoring it 24/7, that you really do keep a very close eye on what's going on. And then if it does happen, things start to go bad, react very quickly. Don't drag your feet. Nothing good will come of that. But most importantly, I think, is to, before you even start to plan to put a campaign in place, have a really good idea of what the actual conversation is. It'll make it a lot easier for you to decide whether or not the campaign that you're going to put in place is going to fit in with the conversation. Think of it like showing up at a cocktail party, and you walk up to a group of people. You've really got to listen to what that group of people are talking about and find a way that you can add value to that conversation, rather than bursting into that conversation and trying to change everybody's mind to your way of thinking. So if everybody in that circle is talking about how bad the food is, the last thing you do is show up and go, oh, but aren't the farmers great? It's sort of a bit out of place. So lessons to be learned from the McDonald's fiasco. Although as fiascos go, it wasn't so bad, I guess. Also, this month, big changes to the way Google is doing search. This is especially for analytics people. People want to know more about SEO and things like that. You go talk to Kenneth. But I'll give you sort of a high-level sort of talk about how this is changing. So, as many of you know, Google Plus is out. Everybody on Google Plus? Show of hands. Ooh, wow, look at that whole room, almost. Well done. Who's actually really using it, though? Yeah, all right, 3 of us. 4 of us. Okay. So what's happening, though, is through things like G+, that Google's trying to learn more about you and more about your social graph, your friends, and things like that. And so when you do a search now, it's going to be different from the search that I do or the search that anybody else does. That the results that are going to come up are going to be increasingly personalized for you. And this has a lot of people worried that, you know, that search isn't search anymore, that the way you rank before, the way people used to do their SEO voodoo to get themselves at the top of the page, that stuff doesn't matter nearly as much anymore because there is no single Google page for your search terms anymore. Those search terms vary from person to person. And it does mean that, you know, that we'll get this next one here. So there's a whole bunch of things being combined with this. Also, mobile, Android becomes part of this equation as well. Your profile, the things that you share on G+, the things that you list about yourself, are all going to start to factor in. So again, very important if you are building a personal brand, if you want to have sort of search results that come back that are relevant to your work, the things you're doing, all the more reason to be sharing the sort of content online that matches up with the work you're doing, the personal brand that you're trying to build. So also for businesses, more than ever, it's time to sort of get a G+ business page set up for exactly the same sort of reasons. It'll help connect you with all of those other personal brands that are out there that are matched, people in your industry, people who are trying to find you as a business, customers who like your sort of thing. All of that stuff will start to connect back to you. So probably your best SEO tips now is to actually start taking G+ a bit more serious. Or, you know, look to new search engines potentially. This is obviously going to create opportunities. There's no doubt going to be challenges to this. So in the not dead yet category, LinkedIn. All right, let me try this again. How many people here are on LinkedIn? Ooh, a few more than there is on G+. Wow. And now, again though, like G+, how many of you are actually using LinkedIn on a daily basis? Holy cow. Well, it's about half the room. So not bad, well done. Oops, there is an interesting statistic here. LinkedIn is reportedly producing 277% more, it's been proven more effective for lead generation. Let me show you the chart that explains it. This is lead generation, visit to lead conversion rates for Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. A little study done by HubSpot. So as you can see, LinkedIn is the place for business still. And a few tips from HubSpot. The link to this report is we included in my list of all links at the end of the presentation. They say invest time with LinkedIn, develop your channels, spend time who you're targeting, find them, develop that. This takes an investment of time. Post more targeted content. The same advice I just gave on G+. Really focus on sharing stuff relevant to your brand. It doesn't have to be original content. You can curate from other places. A lot of us are linking our Twitter feeds to our LinkedIn